welcome to the very first episode of I Play It So You Don't Have to, PlayStation 1 Edition. So, I wanted to start a new series this year. I wanted to think about something that would be, a little bit different than what I put out normally for content. I was like, wait a minute, why don't I play some games that normally fly under the radar, point them out to people and actually let them see gameplay and let them see what it's all about. And going for a full PS1 collection, I've got a plethora of shit to dive into, so why not do it? And someone actually gave me the very first title of this, which is I'm playing the game so you don't have to, and I added the PlayStation 1 edition. Shout out to Low Profile Gamer for giving me the name of this series. So basically that's the premise of the series, and to start off with, the very first episode we're gonna dive into Pinobee, or as I like to call him, Emobee. I recently got this game. I had no idea it existed, but I saw the cover art and I immediately had to actually play it. It's a Hudson Soft game, and it's definitely a unique take as far as gameplay goes whenever it comes to PlayStation 1 games. So I do see a little bit of homage to some games in here. I'm talking like Donkey Kong Country. There's literally a level that has little cannons that remind me of the barrel blasts. There's also, whenever you collect the little energy flowers that you see, that reminds me of literally Sonic whenever he's collecting the rings. So, a lot of people said it kind of rips off those two, and I can see why, but I feel like it plays homage to those two games in general. So basically the premise of it is this: you're actually trying to save Grandpa Bee. You're playing as Pinobee, a little robotic bee, trying to make your way to the evil Vector's lair to save your grandpa from the evil clutches while battling the robotic army that he has at his disposal. And what I want to say about this game in general, it is a beautiful game. The aesthetic is very pleasing to the eye, I will say that, but man, the gameplay can be janky as shit. So you can go back and forth as normal. You can actually hover if you like to. It took me actually a second to know how to do that whenever I was first playing the game. The one thing that's funny as shit about this is, watch this. When you jump, your head gets huge. So basically you have a little dash mechanic. As you go throughout the game, you get more dashes added to your arsenal whenever it comes to trying to get through certain levels, because you're gonna need those to reach certain heights in the levels, because some of the obstacles can be a pain in the ass. The only way to get that is from a little fairy chick, and you will come upon her in one of the levels, and it is funny as hell to deal with her. So you're going, he kind of looks like, oh, I gotta do this, oh man, whatever. See, the thing about him, he literally has a nonchalant, I don't give a hell attitude whenever it comes to, trying to save Grandpa. He's like, that's life, man, that's just how it goes. I'm like, what the hell? The dialogue in this game is what made me fall in love with it. It's not the gameplay, it's not the aesthetic, it's the dialogue, because this is a very short level. As you see, you get your energy flowers, you have 100 energy, which is your health bar. I don't really know what I don't know what the flowers do, honestly. I think they're just for collecting, kind of like the rings, but they don't give you actual, power for your energy. That goes to something else that you find, like these big crystals. They will give you your life back. That's basically your life meter, but I don't see them in here. So this is the end of the level, so we're gonna go in here. Like I said, it looks fantastic. So this is the part that got me whenever I first got to it. I'm like, why am I keeping a diary? What is this? It is so weird. So there are different levels of the game. There's about 6 different endings. My first playthrough, I got one of the bad endings. I didn't get the worst one. Oh, trust me, there's one way worse. I got one that was basically titled Revenge. And, I didn't get to save Grandpa. So basically, in order to save Grandpa, you have to go through different levels. I got to the robotic land, and that was the furthest that I actually made it in the game, because apparently I didn't do enough things to actually get to the final level to save Grandpa. It all depends on what you do throughout the levels. You have to save your friends, you have to go through and unlock things. In order to get the good endings, you have to naturally do things to acquire those endings. It's just like any other game, But this one is like a platformer, so it's what makes it unique is it has multiple endings. So definitely a lot of replayability whenever it comes to the game. Now, getting back to the diary, these are freaking hilarious. Each time that you actually end the level, you're gonna have a diary entry, and they're all different. So here's what it says: for Cozy Forest, May 1st. And yes, there are different dates, different things, different entries. It's funny. And he literally, whenever I was playing this, I literally read it in a monotone voice, oh man. So I'm gonna do that here. This fairy lady woke me up today and told me Grandpa had been captured and that I have to save him. why doesn't she save him? I remember Grandpa telling me to turn on the Steve's sewing machine yesterday, but I forgot where it is. Oh well. Oh! So he's like, I don't care! It's like, why don't she do it? I love the fact that he has no fucks to give and he does not care about anything. He's like, whatever, I'm just gonna deal with it. He literally doesn't have any heart. And it sure as hell shows in his diary entry. I couldn't beat one golden enemy today. So the golden enemy, basically, it's on different parts of the levels. Each level's gonna have one, so whenever you find it, you have to basically pummel it and it'll say, I beat the golden enemy today. So he kind of has like some form of happiness whenever it comes to this game. So that's Cozy Forest number 1. Now, of course, whenever you go through the menu, you have your stage select, you have your check items, now you get different power-ups as you go. So that's one thing that you will get. The diary, you can review all kinds of diary entries. Collections, I guess that's just like little things that you can collect over the course. And so there we go. So now we're on Cozy Forest 2. I think the last level is the secret level, and then also In the Tummy. Yes, there's one called In the Tummy, which is funny. I didn't make it that far, but that's the premise of the game. You're going through, you're trying to save Grandpa, you got this, emo acting little fucking bee that don't give two fucks about the world. It is so trippy. It really is. Oh man, I love it so much. It's just funny. And the big head, the diary, everything about this. Now, I'm not going to tell you not to play this game, but you can at your own discretion because of the fact, a lot of people will be like, what the hell are you playing? What is this? It's just funny, and I think that it has a little bit of charm that a lot of PlayStation 1 games don't have. It has character. I kind of wish that things did still have that today because a lot of games don't. I feel like people just put out stuff for money. Everything's just a cash grab, it seems like anymore. Remakes, remasters, the whole big shebang. But with this, they actually took a chance. Developers took way more chances than what they do now as far as AAA titles. But on the other end, this definitely is one game that a lot of people probably would overlook because of the cover art, reading the back of it, they're like, what the hell am I getting into? So I'm playing it so you don't have to. I gave you a little bit of synopsis as far as the game, how it plays, the mechanics, what it's about. Check it out at your own risk if you want to. It's definitely one to pick up. It typically goes for about, I want to say, 20 to 30 bucks, on a good day. It's not really expensive, so definitely affordable if you want to add it to your collection. Hell, I would. It's definitely a unique title. There's not always going to be games that I'm going to recommend in this series to play. This is one of the few that's probably going to be like, hey, this is a great game for just the diary entries alone, for the laughable moments that this fucking game carries. Trust me, it is worth it. But this is the first episode of I Play It So You Don't Have To. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Definitely let me know if you like this episode, if you want to see more. I'm down to play more. I'm down to actually show you a little bit more gameplay, talk a little bit more about the games themselves. But as always, this is the PlayStation Girl signing out. Game on!